Good, well, good evening. Well, evening for me. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. We've had a small patch update. I think the big thing is the toolbars. Uh, oh, it must have auto-saved me when I went to look around at stuff. I thought I could just kind of exit back to menu and it wouldn't save anything. Which that might be actually. Uh, it was like Alt plus key. To do that. And actually, that got me thinking that if I could hotkey that, then I could hotkey the regular mouse things. And maybe solve some of my inventory switching problems. So it's Alt. Well, that actually is going one by one, so maybe as part of that they fixed tool switching? One, two, three, four, five. No, that's like those. Yeah, in practice you end up trying to go through them and it goes through really fast. So, if I presume that I'm going to be able to replace... Oh, and it reset all my toolbars because they completely reset the toolbar system. So, we don't have to worry about losing that anyway, because it's already lost. Wow. I looked at this earlier. And I think that streaming really does take an extra load on it, even though I'm not using CPU encoding or anything. Anyway, I'm gonna need... Let's see, one of my buttons is dead. Don't really use those. Well, the first thing we have to do is test. Do we even do mouse function? Oh! I don't have scroll left and scroll right, but... Well, first of all, scroll up. So we could get more precise control there. What about... Does the game do anything with that? No. Now the problem is, I don't know if I can do... Yeah, I'm gonna have to do... Let's see... Keystroke, multi-key... Yeah, it doesn't do mouse wheels. So I would have to get into some of the macro programming stuff. In order to do Alt. We'll scroll up and assign new command, scroll down, are already going to be really useful in being able to actually get to my tools. To the point that it might be useful to care more about where they're assigned. Wait. Maybe down and up don't... Wait. Did I just double tap a key? So it's actually my system that's borked, not my mouse driver specifically. Yeah, not exactly mouse sensitivity. Oh! Well, yeah, rotate is fine. Left and right mouse button. So hotbar has... I guess it's going to be the same as rotate hologram, but they don't have specific bindings for changing tools. Quick search. Huh. So that's just a entry into this, but okay, kind of cool. So to get around the gimpiness of that, I would have to rebind my rotate keys, I think, to fix the tools, which might still be worth it. What should we see? I don't think... Well, page up and page down might be used in certain things, but... And then if we go and rebind these... And that is a keystroke. Wow. Keystroke, you don't need a modifier on it. Then, alright, that's hotbars. But we don't seem to be having any trouble with skipping. I would really like something like that for my tools, though. Oop, not you. But in order to do that... what would I do as an alternate? Actually, these are probably unused. Which could be just as good as bindings. So, if that's going to be the same as switch tools... it's just going to be a little bit weird for actual... Okay, so that does nothing. I'm not sure there's anything useful it could do. But since those are keys now, I think... we can actually get some precision in this. And if I just cycle, I will eventually hit the thing I want. But... now how do I change toolbars? How do I change toolbars? User interface. Oh, you know, I've seen some people with that on. And I occasionally have trouble with, like, I mean, this might be interesting. Because I occasionally have trouble with, like, iron ore versus copper ore. Wait, turn right and turn left. Oops, did I... Alright, we made some other changes. Huh. So there's straight up key bindings for... options... automatic clearance separation. Try to do a small move. So exactly which keys these are doesn't matter as much. But I do need to pick a set of keys. What do I have available? I guess with the hotbar switching, I could focus more on doing, you know, 5 useful slots on each hotbar. I could just bind one key to advance, but then have to cycle through them all. I might be able to do, like, shift in a key. So what if we did... that, and then... next hotbar, and then... you shouldn't really be doing that during a combat anyway. That'll kind of be annoying with my run, but... oh. Okay, back works, but forward doesn't. Oh, is that because it shifts to a different key? Wait. So did that record as shift or as shift key, or is it recorded as shift key? Interestingly enough, this is the one that works and this is the one that doesn't. So I guess I need a key that doesn't have a shift character? Well, there's just something weird with that key, because it's actually the forward that doesn't seem to be working. Yep. No, that's just pressing. It's just me pressing the wrong button. So how about underscore? Okay, that works, and that works. And it's not as great as the left-right here. But the reason I didn't want to do, like, a shift key is because I'd have to have a modifier key while pressing those. I've only really got space mapped out for shift right now. Or can we actually do abandon the extra keys? So if anything, I might actually want to do... I don't want the shift anyway. We do like that, and... that, and then we rebind you to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Assign that for the time being. Options. So then we've got some slightly out of the way things for that. We've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh. I thought they did something. There's something about they made the eyedropper function more obvious. Anyway, now that we've got that done, huh? And what do you actually make them? Well, I guess one of the main things I had. Well, I always had belt 1. You with 10 of these, you could probably just have like belts. Not that I need the different belts that much. It was mostly like belt and splitter merger. And hey, if there's a pole there, fine. And if we go up here and do... Well, power line was always the big one. And I would rarely need to then make a power pole Mark 1. I actually don't need that much in the power series. Other parts of logistics include, well, pipeline cross, triplet support, stack with pipeline. Oh, I think these might have a new category now. Because this stuff used to be on top. I don't know. I guess it's alphabetical? Even though these are perhaps more useful. Transportation. So we had a hyper bending for hyper tube. We've got. I mean, I guess that'd be good for height. But I would mostly just use and support. And then maybe we'll actually make that one into our Explorer set. I guess we sometimes use those. And then it's like, the ramp's a lot. Sometimes we turn, sometimes we go straight. Probably a buildings thing would be like constructor assembler. I could maybe see a thing for like doing coal generators, but we could perhaps set that up as needed. So did my belt set? Yeah, it kind of did end up with some extra space. Only one extra space. It's a pity that I can't have the wheel bound to both. Oh, that's right. That means yeah, that might kind of hurt my ability to turn nicely. But precision in this is going to be so nice when we're fighting something. Alright. Parts we want to make. And unfortunately, like, you can add this to to-do list, but I think that if you add something else, it kind of mashes everything up. Okay. Be that way. So beacons you could make almost anywhere. I'm currently making them here. Pipes we've got in a couple places. Black powder we have in one place. Could possibly get another. Rubber and black powder are probably the big constraints. So we can get rubber here. We can get rubber here. We've got it somewhere around here. We've got steel around here. I've got some iron and copper here, although I'm kind of using it. Maybe I could use this copper. This area is kind of unexplored, but I wasn't seeing a whole lot right near here. And I probably do need to do more pinging over here, although it's been pretty barren so far. We've got untapped sulfur here. If we started building this stuff out, we'd get kind of close. We're not yet making steel stuff down here. Although we can probably make the beacons easy enough. Oh, there is more copper down here. Don't know. I mean, I know there's this iron. I could go out there and scan for other iron. Like, see if there's anything in here. It's kind of a dead zone right now. Actually, there's iron up here. Which, and more iron around the corner, and some untapped copper. So it either becomes we move the explosives over here, or the rubber over here. Huh. So there's this little very precarious route, which I might be able to drive. There's probably a route through here. Because like if I got like if I got like a truckload of either rubber or explosives, then the rest would be pretty straightforward. You know what? I need to check on how this production's doing too. Let's see, where would that go? Because I wasn't entirely sure about the coal throughput over there. I mean, I guess I'll get a power outage if it doesn't work. Oh, it's a little foggy down here. I don't remember that before. No, what I didn't actually do is have a thing like directly to go up to that area. Well, this is moving continuously. There's no herky-jerky. I mean, I guess that means it's going at full capacity? And... Okay, so it's not that this side's power is fine. Although it's taking some stuff out of the flow here. And that power is fine, so we're probably okay. But this is definitely gladly sinking everything we give it, and I'm just afraid that it would sink even more if it had the chance. Because, I mean, in theory, this could sink the entire coal deposit. And these are already stopping because of... or they're already limited by the coal supply. So splitting it out again is not really going to help anything. This is a place that's making a lot of pipes, though. Now, there was another copper back here. I should probably head out this area and just ping some things, see if there's anything else in between. Well, oil. Did I turn down the range on that stuff at some point? Ah. That could maybe be a medium now. Well, it's near the radio tower, so. Okay, so there's a little bit of a drop there. I mean, I really kind of need to get out this way a little bit. Oh, hi. Is this not all smooth? Okay, so I missed the path here. Well, that's something. Okay, so I've come back around to that stuff. Keep hearing sounds. Kind of getting there. Well, that's not much. Yikes. Okay. This is just a dead zone. Oh, I did forget about that copper. Yeah, okay, so that's actually what I was thinking of for this thing. And there's actually a bunch more up here. So we're closer to the... well, if this stuff is all closer, then well, it would be at distance, even if it was here. So you've got basic materials. The rubber is actually only down here, not up here. So I guess the answer to this is that this is closer to base and kind of a little travel nexus as is. So that makes more sense as an armament plant. And we're making steel pipes there. So I just have to either make or transport the beacons. And then we have to figure out how we run a truck route for the rubber. So that might be a start. We're going to knock out a heck of a lot of vegetation. Alright, so right now, steel pipes are going down to the valley. There is a passage there, although it gets awfully close to the gassy stuff. Does that actually make a good entryway? Group. It makes an okay entryway to the valley. Now, I took the Explorer down there, and I think I ran into some trouble driving through the pools, so that's not necessarily a good driving route. Although, given a little bit of gas, there's this little path, which unfortunately does not get me to my explosives. If anything, it gets me closer to this, but that needs the coal to come over to the sulfur and then down to there. That would be an interesting little route. It's not what we have, however. I need something like... Let's see, I was looking at this little entrance to this valley, which goes through poison over here. Goes down in here. I guess I can see if there's a side of the water route. Although, well, that's up here. I mean, this is all cliff. So no matter what, we're gonna have to ship some iron up here or up here somewhere to get a shipping point. Just thinking, you know, I've already got pipes in this valley. I guess that puts me a little bit farther away. From, like, the copper and straight iron stuff. Do I have the ability? What can I build right now? I can't build that, and I can't build... because I'm holding on to my beacons. Otherwise, I actually could. I would also need to have... I mean, that's okay fuel. I actually don't expect it to last too terribly long. I could also... well, I'd have to redirect some coal, but I could use it to create a fueling station. So if we created a station down here... actually, the Explorer is probably going to be more fuel efficient. Anything else? Oh yeah, they restyled some things. Actually... okay, that was mostly just the icon. I actually think the chainsaw read better before. Icon-wise. Alright. That's right, it's not my rotate anymore, unfortunately. And I want Gap Mask, just in case we go through that. Okay, the Explorer would probably handle the hills better. Actually... oh my gosh. This giant industrial truck can't go up a hill. I mean, the tractor I understood. Is that something... I do miss the rotates for this. I mean, that's pretty close, but you have to position it where it had a little bit of an edge on it. Really? And we'd have to... switch off with foundations. Wait. Okay. And we're still getting some soil peeking through here. Oops. So I guess pressing the same thing again cancels the build mode. Oops. Okay. Okay, we'll sort out the top if that's a thing. Do we get better traction here? Oh my gosh. Now you see, I wanted to use the big truck for the big carrying capacity. And again, I guess that's almost more than a box anyway. Alright, so... I needed... crystal oscillators. Because if that can go up the hill... I mean, like I said, I don't have to go up this particular hill. I could put the truck station at top. It would just... Hey, look, it's a ramp. And then I could test the truck on the rest of the route. See, and I have to test it both ways because there's hills it can't go up. Hi. I don't know what it is about hitting them on the hills. Well, there's a path there, all right. Now we have to insert fuel again. What was the key to unlock camera? There we go. Okay, resource deposit could be removed. If we really wanted to. Okay, so that hitch was an autosave. Okay, so that seems to be heading towards a cliff. Yeah, this is not a... Definitely probably not the best route. Oh look! Spiders are trying to get my truck. Aren't they cute? Hmm. There's some, Okay, so that's that change. Or altitude change? Okay, oh, well, there's some ramps I never picked up. That definitely looks sort of like a path. Okay, well, good thing I've got, mask on. Wait, what? Does it not work inside the vehicle? I've got the mask on. Well, I guess we don't take that route then, so that cuts off this entire path. So it's there, so we have to go this way. There's some stuff, alright. Also, this is looking not so passable. Doubly not passable. What the heck? Just casually throwing a truck around. Oh, okay, so now it can destroy them, sure. So apparently these things are called flying crabs. What the heck? Got flying trucks! Where'd the truck go? Wait, doesn't it have a ping? Oh, there you are. Aren't you glad you showed up? I'm pretty sure I got this one. Yeah. Oh, there it is. How'd you get over here? Okay. This seems to be not the route. Also, this is not where the actual rubber is. But you could set up a you could imagine setting up a delivery station here. And there are some ramps. Alright, so the place we need to go to here is probably over there. Wait. Where'd you come from? Yeah, this camera control though. Okay, so that's actually not much of a ramp by itself, and I've kind of cut it off with my plastic production. I mean, the belt's fixable. All right, does that open anybody up here? Oh, you guys are just hanging out. Alright, so what are we going to do with you? We kind of want to take you up onto the cliff and then cross over. And yeah, it's probably gonna rearrange some of this too. Okay, you were Mark II. Which I don't. Yeah, I did do some belt 2 here. I'm a little bit concerned about the angle coming up here. Okay. Okay, we do not make it all the way over there. And we've definitely used up like half our fuel in just getting here. And we definitely need a ramp to get back up. But I guess I could build the truck station up that way. Let's see, and then where was the rubber box? I guess that'd have to be fuel. If I did a fuel station here, it would have to be... It would have to be Coke, huh? Oh, well... Never mind, we're sinking enough rubber. I mean, I guess I could deflect some rubber. That would affect our ability to sink Coke. Okay, so we don't have enough. We don't actually have enough rubber to sink the Coke. I am sending Coke from both boxes. Even this one's backing up a little bit. So we've got Coke going back here. That could be used for fuel. We would tap off some of the rubber, which we won't have right now, so I'd actually have to build the infrastructure and come back later. Now, some of the other things actually are just kind of building up rubber, but they're, like, even farther away. Now, up here was a little easier to get to if we kind of went all the way around. Well, I have to get all the way around here. And if I did that, I'd actually kind of want to, like, bring it back this way, maybe? At which point you're back to this thing. Which is... treacherous, but not blocked. So you would, like, run this rubber up to a station here somewhere. You'd take some coal for fuel. And that's kind of a straight shot into here. That might really be... I mean, you got that one treacherous bridge, and I don't know if I can drive this thing out of here. Especially not in this position. And it takes a lot of fuel. Was I holding that? I wasn't holding that. Where do you guys go? I think you do shoot back over there somewhere. Oh, I picked a bunch of plastic. Yes, this has the steel. Actually, there is iron and copper here. So I've got steel pipes, I've got copper. I could tap some of the iron. So that would be delivered... Well, right, because the logic was this is more of a convenient area to get stuff. So to make that truckable... you kind of want to get to there. If you did it farther in, I'd have to redirect this copper belt, which I guess you got to deal with the tube too. And that kind of would be the tube that would be following home. We got copper going down, we got coal going down. And I might have to actually adjust some of the hypertube, because that might make that thing even more treacherous. Oh. No, yeah, that's tapped from there, so we still got... If we tap from the box... Which, how's my... We used a few of them. Or I guess if we tap from this... Actually, what were you making? Oh, right, you were my old circuit boards. But I could see doing the buffered one. I think this might actually be backed up on, yes, backed up on fuel, or on coke. By which I guess you'd actually want to use that for the truck fuel, but then we have to ship it all the way over here. Alright, so if we come down here, there might be a passage there. It's not really any easier to get to. We think there's a passage here. Conveyor speed isn't going to be really an issue. I think we're really done with probably about all of the circuit assembly over here. And right, I picked up a bunch of parts when I took up the truck. Well, I've got a junk box here, don't I? Okay, step one, sort. I don't need 2 stacks of rubber. I don't need an odd number of motors. Probably don't need that much concrete. I picked up extra plastic. Probably still have too much random stuff. Oh, boy, coke. We don't have any place to put that, do we? Bonk. Oh yeah, climbing animations. Alright, that gave me a little bit more rubber. Alright, so that gave me a... We tap from the non-stored rubber, which is actually not what I need right now. I've got enough place. Well, I guess I don't have any place else that necessarily has stored rubber, but still, it's not a critical thing. Where are you gonna go? I guess you would follow like the coal belt, roughly. Okay, so conveyor belts, that's conveyor 1. You know, let's actually not run stuff down here right away. Oops. Of course, if I try to pre-plan this... I don't know if I'll actually be able to run up a conveyor through. That's right, my turn's moved. gonna have to go down here. Ooh. Okay, that's a lookout tower. Don't really need that. That went to a split. Yep. That's a bad place to go. I guess maybe this is where stackable poles are sort of useful. This is the kind of thing that might have been for. That's right, I was just walking up the conveyors. Yep. Yep. I don't know, I get that little sidestep sometimes. Oh, I got a power pole here though. Alright. So that's the entrance. Crouching others clearance. Oh, you were just short of the power pole. So I either have to go do an over or an under here. Ooh, that's actually it's actually a couple of frames. Okay, so if we clean that up, let's see. That was coming down over there. Input, input, output. I might actually want the oop. I actually need that higher here. First, it's gonna have to come back down. And then it's kind of pick your coal belt. See, that's steel, which is pretty well stopped at this point. No, Nexus power? Used to having an all-in-one. How much power do you take? Hopefully that's only while operating. Yeah, so now once this gets filled up, I'm kind of stuck with the materials. Hopefully it works out. Oh, I can take the Typer tube now. I mean, I guess I could always run them into another box. Alright, other conveyor splitter. So that is actually going to take a while to run stuff out there. So we would go back, I guess, build a prospective truck station. And, well, I guess generally work on the other infrastructure. Once I get the truck over there, I can build a station around it. Oh, and get this built out of the way. Which I might end up with some coal here at some point. Now, were you conveyor belt Mark 1? You're probably high enough. Oop. Oh, I guess I ended up in this station. Like, where is it block? And, or maybe I need to be working on rerunning my hypertube somewhere that's not a driving route. This part wasn't too bad. It was kind of off to the side. And, okay, that I need to fix. Alright, so you're... We should just kind of have a power line on anything that might use power. Alright. So, we now believe that we'll be coming up here. Black powder's up here. Pipes are down here. I could just tap some iron from here for what I'm doing, or I could go get this stuff. I do need to know. Copper is going to be a little bit of a pain. Yeah, that's the one I thought about. At which point I might as well build the beacons kind of over this way and then ship them. Let's see, you'll take me up there, you'll take me up there. I almost need a little tube that just goes up here. Oh, does this not? Okay. I thought there was a way up here. Oh, I do have underutilized iron here because we're not fully utilizing our pipe production. See, that's so. Yeah, 1/3 of all this is available. Can't quite see it from here. That's a little bit of a cliff. Okay, so it's down here. Who's guarding it? Nobody? One little berry up there. Alright, so there's cliffs there. Which we can probably see that on the map, but kinda. Although with this thing up here, it's a little hard to tell. So it's smoother around that way. Now, I still don't have a really good sense of how that sits relative to this stuff. Okay, so coming around this side comes up on that side of the limestone, which is going to be less convenient for getting to the iron over here. Although you kind of have to go around at some point. It's kind of got this mess all over here. We were going over that way. Pipes, explosives. I might kind of want to go inside. What does that mean? following the coal back a little bit. Well, I guess the rubber comes in here. I could... So steel is everywhere from here to here. Explosives are up here. This stuff's this way. We're going to kind of have rubber coming in over here, explosives over here. I guess down here is kind of in the middle. Pipes are down there already. So if I did put it together on this side, it'd be boop, 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 boop. We'd have to send this iron over. But we can pull it off. Go over this way. Now, I didn't necessarily bring parts from manufacturer, which is what we're going to need here. Actually, do I go down into this area? Contiguous with the copper. There's a straight shot up here. Because the copper goes up or the iron goes down. Not really going to need this in bulk. Oh, right. This is actually a manufacturer for beacons. Oh, I need a lot of constructors for that, don't I? What was beacons? I actually need a different menu for this. No, because they're technically equipment, but some equipment can be made in manufacturers and some can't. So it's plates and rods and wire and cable. So I need to take that into... I need to take the iron into two things. Hey, Jake. I'm finally just puzzling out the cartridge situation. So I probably want to take... Let's say I have 2 bits to worry about. I want to take just one thing of iron over. Maybe I could, like, do those up here and then manufacture down there? Or those up here and manufacture over there. Yeah, and it made me kind of finally made me consider the fact that these buttons are key bindable, which is not as good for rotation, but it means I can actually get to tools when I want them. In theory, I haven't had to do a whole lot of fighting yet. I guess I didn't really check. No, not that one. If they perchance... What did... Oh, okay. So... That lets you use the things up here, but those kind of move around as you swap things out, which is not so great. So where'd I go? So yeah, you can't bind those. Numbering the things up here is kind of interesting, though. And it would make that fairly quick to just swap out your current slot. Not being able to, like, assign them to positions sounds problematic. Or maybe if I do the iron stuff here to manufacture there and end up kind of doing the copper stuff as we come up this way, we treat that as the 2 different paths, and we do... I probably don't have the parts for this. Oh, I do. I might have parts for another one. So if you make beacons, and I'm going to have, let's see, these things wanted 40 per minute, so that's going to be 40 per minute potential. I don't think my production rate of these is going to be an issue. Ah. Yeah, so you're dealing with the oil stuff first? Yeah, it's a big boy. I don't think I have any running right here. It's 40, so that'll be like 2020. What's my rates on? Did I? Yeah, I never did make like a manufacturer thing, so we'll figure out if we want that. Right. I wish I could have like 2 key bindings. Have it the wheel and something else. So we needed iron rods at 15, so we can cover that. We need iron plates. 30, but we'll have a little bit extra left over from there. And then you're just... Now, I don't know if that's the rates I need, but... Iron plate, 22, 7.5. The wire is actually a lot, but I don't think the overall production rate is going to be huge. If I just leave it on automatic and come back to it every once in a while, it should be fine. Oop. One button over. No, actually not here. It's back here. I mean, I could almost take this entire line. Oh. I just thought maybe there's a future where we end up doing that. Oh, I need a workshop. See, I guess that would be like a do smelter beam mining set. Oops, no. Alright. This all has to be made into cable first. No. What's the radar and cable? Oh yeah, I even got iron wire. I guess the other side does have a lot of stuff, but this is the closer we want. Yeah, so slightly worse rate, and we're not using this copper for anything else. So you want 15, that's 60. So we could potentially make four of these. I don't know if we need 4 of these for this application, but maybe we'll use it somewhere else. So each of these would then go to 2. And it looks like we're mainly going to get constrained by this wall over here. You're going to be heavily constrained by this wall over here. I might have to fan out or stagger or something. That'll sort of work. Okay. So wire, you're all producing 30. Now we need some of this as wire, and in an optimal situation, we want 112. Call it 120. So that's just, we take one. No, that's 30, 30, 30, 30. We could send everything into just the wire side. So at least some of it's got to be made cable, so that side's going to come up a little short. Cable. The alternates I have for this are weird stuff. Actually, I might have some weird... Nope, they're all singles. If I even have them. Okay, yes. Caterium... Well, there's rubber. Fuel... It's like, we'll have rubber for other stuff. Okay, so the normal is 2 to 1. Producing 30, which probably means we need 60 just to make 30. But we needed 15, so that's half of it. And if I wanted more, I could, like, see if there's some extra rubber, but that might be high volume. So one of these... Oh, I guess that's the visual feedback they were talking about. And maybe we pull it out a little bit into a position where... Oop. Wrong button. Right next to my escape key. Where we could merge more stuff into it later. But for now, we're just going to go 1 to 1. Feed it 30 for 15, and then all of this stuff. I put my angles off. So each of these is going to be like 30. So coming out of this, we're going to need like a level 2 belt. This would almost be a good conveyor stacker situation. Unfortunately, the way I set that out for page up and page down is actually ends up being kind of opposite. Or to advance through my tools ended up being kind of opposite for... And we ran out of stinking plates. Kind of opposite for rotation. It's always a stinking plates. And I don't have a departure point from here. It's another reason we'd have a tube there to get down. Oh, actually, if I'm gonna... Well, the ammo will probably get built and or shipped down to that spot, so it'll be okay. Alright, do we have any other stuff to drop off? I forgot to stick this in the copper thing, but we'll be going back there. Have a particular use for coal. The fog down here is new. Maybe they're trying to make the slug less obvious? I don't know. Ah. Yeah, with hypertubes and everything. Alright. Simple belt. Before I forget... Actually, yeah, you were configured... Yeah, just that. These need to be configured for copper, and copper. Take that, please. Now you. Oh my, we've got, let's see, if we do you to here. Where are we hooked up to? Ah, you didn't get hooked up. Actually, you're just kind of chilling out there. Oh, but then that capped it. Okay, well maybe not. Okay, so that might work. Missing cable? I mean, we might actually have some cable here in a minute. Except it's not hooked up to power, so it's not running. Oh my gosh. You know, I thought I should, maybe I should check on other stuff, but... Alright, I run out of rods sometime. I seem to have been going through some modular frames. There are the plates. I guess I don't have a very big stack, though. Don't think I'm missing anything else basic. There's really no good route up here. Actually, I probably should have switched that around, just get the copper going. But oh well. Oh dear, it's still loading. Well, it just got power, so it can only just started. Alright, there's wire. Alright, because that was the one that had a little bit of materials in it already. From preloading. So it's not going to be fully stuffed, but I mean, we expect this line to eventually back up. Although, well, hopefully this won't run most of the time. It's going to get a little dodgy, though. Alright, so we will have beacons. I will need to drop explosive powder. So I'll have that and that. I guess that'll kind of be the spot where I'll be coming in, so that'll be a good place for the storage. So rubber, powder, beacons. We'll have to tap. The pipes are over there. It puts us at a slight bias towards that end of things. Alright, so that's Nobelisks. It's... I mean, this was originally just for kind of my use. I think it's fine if it goes into production, because we expect it to back up and again. This is already right near the edge, though. I might need a lifter situation here. Now, oh, that edge would be closer, but it's gonna go just as far. It's just a question of what it does high and what it does low. It's like we need to get it out just a little bit. And maybe that would be better done from below, because it's really hard to read distance to ground. Well, that seems to be through the ground. Yeah, both of these kind of end up being inconvenient there. Oh, I got my secondary... Well, these pipes will eventually run through, so it's... We have stopped producing them there. Okay, so that wasn't all the way down, but it's close enough. So I'm not actually... Actually, I think the truck station will kind of end up being over there. Ah. Just too long. So we got that. I mean, we're already producing these slow enough, but so it goes. Oh, you know what? I ended up short on some silly part. Not that I have the bandwidth for this, but because we're not producing these at full rate. Well, this one's overstuffed just because of the way stuff splits. Yeah. So maybe I just take that split. So we got you. We will have. I might want to bring that over to make room for other stuff. We'll see. We'll have another box over here somewhere. So we'll have Badoop, Badoop, Badoop. Do I even have... I do. So that'll be one from there, two from there. So we're mostly going to be set up... We can kind of do it this way, but man, these things are huge. And we've got our tube over here. What's that gonna look like? I mean, run it back around to a box. Say ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. Did I didn't even start a conveyor belt on that. These are going to produce nice and slow. Let's see, we're aiming for this side of that thing. Beep, 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 beep. Should be fine. Okay, so that's actually the other thing coming in here. Oop, I feel like that wasn't as high up as it could go. should be room in there yet. I think it'll be over there. What's your problem is steep. Oh, I might want to reroute this a little bit. I was thinking it would come up on that side. Well, I mean, over there would be fine. I might just have to raise it, actually. And let this pass through. And you could almost drive down there, except I don't trust the truck to get back up. Well, I mostly need it to only go down, but... Let's see, so we want you to kind of come up, well, like the other pipes. We do not have great height on a single pole. Alright, so this junk is just kind of in the way. Guess we come up here. Oh yeah. The only thing about this side is I don't have the coal right here. Oh. Some forgotten carapace. And it's going to be way on that side, too. Ooh, this is going to come in a little bit of an angle here. Wasn't really watching that. And I don't currently have anything to actually carry the other way, so the fuel is less of an issue than just handling all the big inventory movements. So I might not even need to worry about that just yet. I do need to worry about power, though. Oop. Oh, also power for this. Mm-hmm. Oh, I probably have to do... Okay, so the default is load. Which is good, because I didn't think about that the other one. And if we only worry about a one-way trip for now, we don't need to worry about fuel. Well, hey, that was the right pipe. Big Spitters Valley. Oh, this valley? Oh yeah, I got the slug a long time ago, and it's like, well, I feel like well, the place I was building industrial beams out this way got drained doing the heavy frames. Of course, now I have to see if I can actually drive this thing. I've got some out here, but it's kind of a long trip, so I wanted to set up a manufacturing plant for those. I might need to do some tube reconstruction as we go here. Especially right around there. I almost wonder if I shouldn't reroute this thing, like through here. Alright, we are not backed up yet. No. But, trucks, I might have to drive it forward just enough to be able to see the inventory. Okay, it did not load at all. Do I have to, like, drive it in here? Well, it got fuel, but I guess it only like goes once. For every time the truck appears. Huh. Okay. So it gets one delivery every time it goes in. Now, that could have just been fuel. We don't have any sort of cargo indicator. Okay. So, it's not a full load, but it's a bunch. Yep. That's unfortunate. Supposedly they regrow now, so it's not like nuts and berries are going to be an issue. Oh yeah, you. That's why I built a tube here. Well, one of the reasons, but... Oh, I might have to cross over the tube at some point. That might be step one of the reconstruction process. Okay, and we're on the wrong side of it entirely. So I might have to create a little underpass here. Yep. I thought maybe my path... Well... The path over here would cross it, but... And man, the fuel is going fast. These are like the original Astroneer vehicles, man. That's one way to get unstuck. Oh, aren't you a jumpy little dude all of a sudden? No, I actually wanted to go boop boop. And then these guys are going to attack me while I try to rebuild things. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just a little bit too slow to do the double strike. Actually, this might be max height. I guess there's the stackable ones. So really, I'd like to cross over here somewhere. What the heck? Oh man, I don't want to have to deconstruct this thing. Yeah, this is kind of why I wasn't using vehicles before. And this is actually worse than what I thought. Alright, let's... Okay, well there's no flip command that I know of. Oh, okay, if you get out, you can flip it, but now we're not that much better than we were. Because I don't have inventory for all the stuff in it, is why. Maybe reverse is better? Well, it was for a little bit. Yeah, this is where it's a little tight. Yeah, we actually... Well, we could kind of get under there. Alright, so where is this a problem here? It's it's a little bit annoying there. That's the other worrisome spot. Whoop. That's why I don't like going fast. One little turn. I do like to get those random left turns for some reason. Yeah, that was half our fuel. Admittedly with some futzing around up front. Well, I think it got the cargo. Oh, does it take... Oops. Does it take multiple steps? Okay, well, there it goes. How much does it need? It's 10 rubber each. Well, we got a couple stacks of it. Alright, so they'll come down. Did I build a workshop down here? Or did I already have my miners? I did. That rifle cartridge. Circuit boards. It's like I've had the rifle tech for a while. I just have adopted the Factorio lazy bastard philosophy to a large extent, where I don't want to handcraft things if I can. No, I did some stuff when I was like out building oil. I didn't want to go all the way back. But for like sustained use consumables like this, it's like, I really don't want to do it if I'm going to be making them all the time. I guess I never did set up a parachute factory. I really don't go through those very fast. Although I might be getting done where I could use some more. Production power feels all a little misaligned now. Sure, we had some left. There we go. We got some alien bits. Yeah, I actually wish I could automate the medicinal inhalers, but I did not see them in the manufacturer. Alright, so, oops. Oh, we have to go through an animation. Actually, I guess maybe the first use animation is actually what overrode that? At which point I could drop all the spiked rebar. Or maybe I keep both. Well, if I keep both, I have to keep ammo for both. And switch off depending on the threat level. In fact, it will be a while till I have significant enough ammo to really rely on it. Oh, you know what? Okay, I cannot do... I can do that. I don't need the truck most of the time either. Although other times I would want vehicles. Well, we got 40 already. Oop, wrong button. Although it's 10 at a time. That's not a cartridge, that's a bullet. Well, I mean, that's almost as good as the one stack of rebar, so... We'll see how it works next time I run into somebody. I mean, I hope it's denser or more impactful or something. Okay, so we've actually got a fair backup of beacons. We may actually be limited on steel pipes of all things. Well, not limited, but it's definitely not all the way backed up. But in the long run, I'll get enough of these to carry around, and we'll be good. Alright. That's one part down. So I need to restart production of the previous project parts, which I thought I was done with. And then I have to do that somewhere where I can get... So this is another thing I might like do, like little one-off truck runs for. Build the project parts and haul those back, because those are going to be real dense. You shouldn't have any trouble fitting them in a truck. Of course, the storage you would put them in... Yeah, they don't have any information about stack size on here. So you might be able to just hand carry those. I also have to look how many of these I need. Yeah, so circuit boards, computers, and heavy modular frames are not things that are built in one place right now. I could probably pull off the heavy modular frames through the computers, though. It's more steel and more copper. It's got it there, just we're sharing it amongst a bunch of things. If I redirected some of the stuff that was going to make the oscillators, I could make stators and rotors. The pack. I guess this is the circle. Yeah, I guess the engine looks sort of like a pack. I've still sort of got this up at my starting location. I've got motor production kind of over there. So if I just did a rubber delivery, I could probably produce modular engines, because they're, well, we'll eventually need more of them to run to the next part, I'm sure. Ah, okay, yeah. Actually, I once produced these over near these. But we need a large number of circuit boards and a fair number of computers. Yeah, let's confirm this. Okay, these stack to 100, so... if they're at least as effective, they're at least more dense. Yeah, they got some serious space warping technology to pack that much stuff into a bullet, man. No. But we should need less of these. It's only so many slots, so we'll keep the other gun around for a little bit here. Yeah, okay. Can't even... Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, at least they don't do the Factorio thing where you stick a rocket silo in your pocket or a couple factories. I mean, you stick the parts for a car in your pocket, but you don't like you stick the car. Okay, so I can't do the menu with that open. Alright. So, we're producing those. So you were 100. I can produce those, I can produce those. That's going to be 1,000. Well, that's 10 for 2, so it's 500. No, wait. Yeah, so call it 50 iterations. So 100 computers, I could stick that in my pocket. 500 circuit boards. I forget what their... I think they're like a 200 stack size, so that's actually not too bad. I just have to restart production of these and then see how many modular frames we've got. And of course, these are going to be components into the next project parts, but after I at least get these kind of working, we'll eventually get onto trains, and then we can work on doing the long-distance deliveries more reliably here. So motors and smart platings, they're across a plane, but we can do it. And then if I do another rubber run over to wherever we build that. So these are to 1, and these are the high volume thing. So these we produce, and I've got a container of them. So 500, well... it's like 7,500. I mean, you just bring over the truck and... You bring over a truckload and you let it run. I think it's like 100 stacks, so 75 of those is a lot. I guess since it's a elevator part, we would want to do the building bias towards the places that are closer to the space elevator. So that would be closer to this stuff, and we pull the motors over. And I mean, that could be another thing where well, it's like I could do a truck run, but I have to build all the stations. I'm gonna have a... Well, I'd have a station, but the station would have to run rubber in, so I need a station for each one if I was gonna do that. That's probably close enough to just build it. So, I mean, I could almost... And that's just a manufacturer and another truck run. And then I have to put production for this, but the other, but this is all kind of stopped up. These are actually not by the elevator, but I've got a belt from when I was producing these that goes over there, and I might just have to clear that belt out since we're not doing that thing directly. So we need a manufacturer and a truck station. Alright. Oh, wait. Were the versatile... Wait, weren't the versatile frameworks... Am I missing... Oh, no... Am I missing something? I thought the versatile frameworks got used in... Oh, we're still taking the versatile frameworks directly. They'll probably get used in something in the next level. Alright, so... I even got rotors here. Actually, I could probably make stators down here. Is that right? No, because I don't have the steel locally. That's the issue. Okay, so we would want to take this stuff. Actually, I'd probably want to empty out this line and just... Because I don't think we're actually going to send these up directly anymore. This is almost that same line again. Oh, I should have taken the tube. Alright, so that was our project part line from before. There's the motors. So we're gonna go around. To about here. We're gonna kind of turn and kind of just straight back towards the hub. Do I have... No, I'm not short on plastic. So I can't check the target rate. I mean, these are the kinds of things I just kind of set and forget, so... Not too terribly worried about the rate. We're more constrained by other stuff. And out of plates. Thankfully, we're close to that. It's amazing how fast we run under these things. Yep. It's going to be around over there. Actually, is this the... This must be the smoky thing. Yeah, that still makes sense. Right around that side makes sense. I mean, I guess the parts could go through there if I just masked up for a while.